Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to The Brave Never Fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the Brave and Bold tribe, growing one purposeful soul at a time. There are no coincidences in life. The strength you have is real. Each breath you take is a blessing. Don't give up, give more. Believe in yourself and trust yourself. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? We protect ourselves through our values, morals, principles, and healthy boundaries. When faced with a challenge, which often we are every single day, there are small challenges, there are challenges that are manageable, and then there are challenges that are going to be full of effort that's going to be put forth to overcome it. And it may take a few hours, it may take a few days, it may take a few years. But each day we can chop away at whatever is in front of us. Whatever challenge there is, whether it's self-imposed or it was something that was thrust upon us, we can handle it because we have tools. We have our own versions of weapons, morals, principles, healthy boundaries, values, things that we can rely on to get the job done, tools that we can grab out of the shed at any time, and the shed being ourselves. We are the tools. We have to be able to stand up with courage and face the challenges. But we have to protect ourselves as well. Not every weapon is made to strike. Weapons are also made to simply protect. And what we use, the tools that we use every single day, small challenge, medium challenge, large challenge, whatever it is, we already have what it takes within ourselves, our tool shed, to get the job done, to work the problem, to fix the problem, to examine the problem, to chip away at it step by step. These are things that we do every single day without even knowing it, with things that we don't recognize as a challenge. But the process is still the same. The process will always be the same. And as long as we can do that, we are in a good spot. We're in a good spot because we have given ourselves the opportunity to succeed, because we have already forged the tools within ourselves. Salvation. Preservation or deliverance from harm, ruin, or loss. Deliverance from sin and its consequences in theology. Salvation is redemption. Victory. The ultimate outcome of any task, goal, or challenge. Victory requires strength, discipline, honor, and fortitude. The will to act and answer the call in the shadow of doubt. The face of failure, or presence of chaos. Victory is inevitable when the proper mindset is applied. Success is not a dream, it's a reality, but it must be created. To cross the finish line of something we sought to accomplish is just a metaphor, anecdotal, and it can kill dreams if it's allowed to enter our mind, hearts, body, and soul. There is no end. So seeing a finish line is just a barrier, an illusion distorting your reality. We are in control of our outcomes, good, bad, or ugly. There may not be a finish line, but we have boundaries. Those who attack our boundaries feel the same in return. No one person is better than the next, and we can learn from anyone around us. To answer the call of responsibility is noble. Owning up to our shortcomings, holding ourselves accountable for our mistakes is noble. To forge greatness in our minds, heart, body, and soul, that is our salvation. By overcoming challenges, self-inflicted or not, and doing what you never thought you could do, pushing beyond the feelings of our salvation begins with the ground, the earth, planting the seeds of who we are and what we have accomplished and what we will inevitably accomplish. Leaders protect their home from lurking chaos, stress, and uncertainty. Leading others to salvation is one of the most important roles anyone could display. Once the challenges are overcome, the salvation is the ultimate gift. Cincinnatus, Episode 11, Salvation. It's interesting to think about what happens when a challenge is overcome. When we pose a goal for ourselves and we execute it, we finally cross a threshold and say, I completed my goal, and we instantly start thinking about what else could I accomplish? Because the feeling of accomplishment is addictive. That's why discipline is so important, because it rolls right into the next discipline. You get disciplined in one area in life, it transfers straight into another discipline that you want to shore up, you want to tighten up, something that you've been lacking on, something you've been procrastinating on as a goal to complete. But there is no finish line. That's the most important key. A goal completed doesn't mean that's it, you're done. There's nothing else to work on. Goal completed just means you open up a door for another goal to be completed. You've opened up the window for another challenge to be accepted. You've opened up the call lines to answer the call of life. I talked about earlier about forging the tools inside of you. I talk a lot about building a blueprint of life for yourself. Now, how do you do that? You got to start with a foundation. Your foundation are those things that we don't think about. But again, we do these things every single day. Otherwise, we'd be just wild, feral animals. If we didn't have the capability of waking up every single day, going out into the world and acting the way we know we should act. If we're going out every day and we're acting like feral hounds and we're barking, biting, we're pissing and shitting all over the place, that's not being civil. No one's going to want to be around anyone who would do anything like that. That's why I've been around somebody who's vulgar, or someone who is uncouth, or someone who has no manners. These people are people that you tend to stay away from. Someone who doesn't have any manners is someone we can instantly say, oh, they don't have any manners. And we judge these people. Yet there are things within ourselves that others are looking at us and may say, that's not such a flattering trait for this person. Should we care? Depends on what it is. I tend to think if you know who you are and your foundation is solid, you tend to care what other people think of you a lot less, because you know what's working for you is keeping you in a positive mindset. If you're going home every day and you're pissed off, you're blaming other people, you're having a bad day, and suddenly you realize you've been barking and biting other people, what does that have to do with other people? What does having a bad day have to do with affecting the people who are around you? If you're having a bad day, the people around you should not be affected by it. I've taken one thing that I've worked on in my life is that I've taken the concept of, if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to make sure others have an even better day. Because that's the only positive thing I can do. If I'm having such a negative day and there's things that are affecting me and triggering me and I'm in a state of mind, the worst thing I could do is stay around a group of people who care about me and rely upon me. And I stay there and I project all of my anger for the day, my disappointment, my failures for that day, my frustration with my bad day upon them with my poor energy. You can get out of that real quick if you say, you know what? Just because I'm having a bad day doesn't mean I can't have some positive energy around them. I can at least listen to them. I can try to do the best that I can. And when it's time for me to detach and walk away, then you have to do that. But you certainly don't project your bad day onto other people. You certainly don't project your unhappiness and your chaos onto other people. That's not salvation. That's not protecting yourself. That's not protecting the ones you love. That word salvation means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Again, through theology all the way to just salvation in its most normal sense. When you accomplish something, it's like I'm free from this project, from this goal. But are you? Because what's next? We're always preparing for something. Constantly we're preparing for things. You can't skip steps in between certain tasks that we do every single day. You can't say, I want to take a shower and teleport from your bed into the shower. There's things you have to do to prepare for the shower. You have to actually go into the bathroom, turn on the water, grab whatever cleaning you need, soap, body wash, shampoo, conditioner. You can't skip steps. I guess you could, but are you really clean, right? If you want to go to the store, you can't teleport from your house to the store. You have to prepare to go. You have to grab your keys. You have to grab your money. You have to grab your bag. There are things you have to do to get from point A to point H. You can't skip all of the stuff in between. Now, you may be able to skip a few. There may be some shortcuts in there. But the majority of those steps have to be taken, or the task itself is not going to be completed. You will never finish it. We do these things without thinking about it. And all these things are discipline. Otherwise, we'd be losing our keys every other day, or every other hour for that matter, if we weren't disciplined about knowing where our keys are to our house and our cars and our workplace. We're disciplined about knowing how much money we have at the bank. We don't mess that up. We're disciplined about saying, I'm hungry, time to go eat. My favorite show's on. We're disciplined about that. But we're not disciplined about the steps it takes to get to a goal. What is the difference between saying, I want to take a shower and I want to lose 25 pounds? What is the difference? They both take the same amount of steps, just in different ways. There are always steps. I shouldn't say the same amount, but there are steps. Yes, the goal to lose that much weight is going to be far more steps than going to the shower, but the basics are there. You still have to be motivated to do it. Why do you want to take a shower? Why do you want to eat? Why do you want to watch that show? Why do you want to lose 25 pounds? That's just an example, but we can take this anywhere. Why do you want to make more money? Why do you want a new house? Because of A, B, and C. Then why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you taking steps towards that goal? What can you eliminate from your life that is holding you down from getting there? If it's financial, it could be a relationship, it could be the wrong job, it could be you need an education, it could be you need a coach, it could be you need to jettison some people who no longer serve positive outcomes in your life. All questions that are different for each individual, but one thing is the same. We all do disciplined things every single day, and it all leads up to us being able to overcome whatever it is that we are targeting to complete. There's no greater feeling in the world when you complete something. As an individual basis, when you set out to do something, it's one of the greatest feelings. For me, I'm speaking for myself. There's no greater feeling in the world for me. You know, someone else could be something different. I love to overcome and complete a goal. But one thing I rid myself of is looking at timelines. I just got that out of my mindset. I got it out of my heart. Stop thinking in terms of blocky time and start thinking of it as an organic process that is equal to me getting up and knowing that I need to have some water. As disciplined as that is, and I don't think about it, I need to be just as disciplined about getting up and doing my tasks at work, doing what I'm supposed to be doing in my relationship, making sure that when I make a mistake, which I do often, I learn from them and I try not to make the same mistake twice, to be attentive and aware of what's going on around me, to be responsible and accountable for what I'm doing, to not overspend, to not overeat, to not buy things I don't need, to be a great father, to be a good partner for my lady. These are things that I have to do every single day, and I can get there so much easier when it's based on good foundations. But I also know there's a goal. The goal is I want to be the best of all those things. Look at all those goals I just named off. Could I ever conceivably actually complete these goals? Are these goals completable? Is being a good father a completable goal? Because, again, that's more organic. So why can't I apply that more organic goal to the smaller ones, like losing weight, making more money? Not think of it, I have to have this much money by this time. I need to lose this much weight by... No. How about you just start and continue? Start and simply continue. That's all you need to do. That's all I told myself. You just need to start and continue. Phase 2 of the Brave Never Fall podcast was supposed to have been done within 6 months. I'm on a year now. COVID happened, new change in job, change in home. Life happens. I never got down on myself. It sucked that I had to go 6 months longer with these podcasts than I wanted to. But I'm happy it did. It was meant to be this way. I couldn't do this episode right now unless it happened this way. Not blocky goals, organic progression towards an outcome, towards salvation. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. I don't have to prove anything. I have nothing to prove to anyone but myself. And these are things in life, again, we apply to so many things where we don't think about how we brush our teeth. We need to prove to other people how we brush our teeth. We need to prove to other people why we chew the way that we chew, or why we have as much money as we do. Do we really need to prove any of that stuff? We're not waking up every day and saying to someone, I need to prove to someone how well I can floss my teeth. We don't think about it that way. But we certainly get self-conscious and triggered when it comes to other things that we aren't accomplishing. And that's the problem. How can you ever reach salvation if the effort to start and continue is not been put forth by the person who is being triggered by it when someone brings it up? Have no one to blame but ourselves. If it's time to answer the call and you're answering it and saying, okay, I'm getting on it, and then you hang up and go and say, you know what? I don't know why I said that, because I really have no intentions of actually doing what I said I was going to do on that phone call. I'm going back to bed. Why even answer the phone if you don't want to talk? Everything has a reaction. To answer the call of life, why set a goal you have no intentions of completing? And that's another thing. Are the things we're doing that we can reach salvation with, are they truly obtainable, or are they just in fantasy land? Because if there are certain goals where the steps are so monumental to get through each one that it's going to take you 8 years to get through step number 1, why are you even looking that far ahead? Just look down at the feet underneath you. Take a step. That's all you need to do. You just need to take one step. You don't need to go any further than that. You don't need to have some kind of time machine in your brain. You say, in 8 years, I want to be here. Why even do that? So many things that are out of your control could happen in 8 years, could happen in the next 8 minutes, the next 8 seconds. That goal is completely asinine. It makes absolutely no sense to think that far ahead. You are here now. In this moment, look down. If you're standing up, look down at your feet. Take a step forward. That was a moment in time you took that was deliberate. You made that decision. You took a step forward. The question is where are you going? Where are you going to go? And why are you trying to get there so fast? One of the things I love about marathon running, as a marathon runner, is that it doesn't require you to run fast. Marathon runners are based on distance. The goal is just to complete the distance. If it's 26 miles, your goal is just to complete it. It doesn't matter how fast you're running. Sure, if you want to get a good time, you're trying to qualify, that's one thing. That's a separate goal. But the ultimate goal is just to finish what the number is in front of the marathon. If it's 13 miles, you want to complete 13 miles. If it takes you 5 hours, if it takes you 2 hours. What's the difference? The outcome is still the same. The goal is to get from the start line to the finish line and then start training for the next one. Why punish ourselves over goals that we set so high that we can't even see them? So if you are losing sight of a goal, that means it's too big. You should never lose sight of a goal. If it's blurred and blinded by things and obstacles in your way, you set that goal either at the wrong time, the wrong place, or with the wrong people. Accomplishing a feat is about action. It's about taking what you have at that time and saying, this is good enough. It has to be. I'm just going to start. And when I start, damn it, I'm going to continue. I can always go back. The challenge is to go forward. And when I go back, I'm not going to be backpedaling. I'm going to have already completed my goal, and I'll choose when I want to turn around and go back and start it over again. Because that happens all the time. Ups and downs. Complete something, feel good about it. Over time, you lose that part of yourself that you had gained through that challenge. So now it's time to go and take that walk again. I love that. I absolutely love it. I think that's one of the truest tests any human being can have, is when you face something and you say, I did it before. I'm going to do it again, and this time I'm going to do it better. So again, it's another thing I love about marathon running. You run a race, got a certain time, felt good about it, you run it again, somehow it's just not clicking. You say, okay, that put a fire under my butt. Now, this next time, I'm going to challenge myself to do this. Challenges within challenges, goals within goals. Steps taken. Not giant leaps and bounds, steps taken. 1 foot at a time, 1 day at a time. Without this blocky expectation that if I don't do this, this means this. No, it just means things happen, and we have the opportunity to see why those things happen and correct those mistakes. But always look at the positive. The positive is how you get to salvation, not negative. How can you reach salvation in the freedom and the satisfaction of accomplishment if you're only focusing on the negatives? That's not victory. That's failure. You're only looking at the failure. And to have a failure, victories had to have happened for you to even have a failure. You were victorious in getting to the point where you were challenging yourself for whatever that challenge was. That was a victory to accept the challenge. Don't forget about the victory to start. Yes, you may have failed, but the victory was that you showed up. And it's not a failure if you already know, even if you fail, you're going to be right back at it. There is no failure in that victory of showing up and showing up again. Again, starting and continuing. Yes, there may be some kind of a anecdotal finish line. But the truth is, even when I finish a marathon, when I cross that finish line, I never think, yep, that's it. To me, that's just the start of the next race. That's just taking a break. That's hitting the pause button on a film that is infinite. We influence ourselves through our actions and our inactions. The people we care about the most, the people who are around us the most, they see what we're doing through action and inaction. Are we practicing what we're preaching? Are we conscious and aware of what's going on around us? Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing in real time? Or are we just bullshitting ourselves? Life is not going to hand us all the tools and the shortcuts and the tips and tricks that we need and that we want to accomplish things easier. Life's designed to challenge you because we have to adapt and we have to grow. It's designed for us to take in what's around us and then use it in a positive way to have positive outcomes that will benefit the next moment, the next person that you meet, the people that rely on you, that you're obligated for, that you have responsibilities for. Taking shortcuts is shortcutting all the reasons why you have purpose in the first place. What is the point of having a goal if somebody can just easily hand it to you? Or does it feel better when you've earned it? When you've stood up and said, I'm going to do this even though I really don't want to. I'd rather be doing something else. But I need to do this. The people I care for, the people I'm protecting, the people that look up to me, that rely on me, they need me to do this. Then I understand that, because at some point I'm going to need them to do the same for me. That's why it's important. Being a leader of yourself is extremely important. Because if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others. I'm going to say that one more time. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others. Being a leader is about standing up, starting, and continuing. Looking forward to having that pause, but knowing that that pause is temporary, and that once that pause button is hit again, we're back into action, and we're going. We're continuing. That first step, you look up, you see the mountain. You keep going over that mountain. Hit a valley. Oh, I've made it. Hit that pause button. Rejuvenate. Get the batteries charged again. Look up, you see a volcano. You do it over and over again. You go over the volcano, hit the valley, hit the pause button, you see another mountain. And another mountain, then a volcano. It never stops. The point is, where you need to be is beyond all of those mountains and volcanoes. And sure, there are planes and things and people going all around you. You can look up and see a plane. You might see somebody get tossed out with a parachute when they're getting jettisoned. They might have a Brave Never Fall logo on there. Or someone getting jettisoned because they no longer serve positive outcomes in someone's life, and that's life. The point is, maybe when that person lands on the ground with a parachute, they might say, you know, that sucked. Maybe it's time for me to start doing this because I expect it, and I expected outcomes and I wasn't getting them, and I want to know why that is. Jettison is not always about getting rid of someone. It's also about making them aware, hey, your energy is not welcome over here. You need to find people, places, and things where your energy is welcome. But that's why looking around at everything around you when you're on your path can sometimes distort your reality. You just have to focus on what you're doing. Everything else will fall into place. Even the person with the parachute who got thrown out of the plane. So you have to just focus on yourself. And everything else will align and fall in place. But we have to lead ourselves first. We can't rely on other people to lead us. We can't rely on ourselves to just stand back and say, hopefully something gets my legs moving. Something motivates me to do something that I really want to do. You have to motivate yourself to do something you really want to do. If this was a post-apocalyptic world and you were the only one on the planet left, and maybe very few people, who's going to motivate you to feed yourself? You're going to motivate yourself. You're going to motivate yourself to find shelter. The goal of trying to find other people. There won't be anyone there to tap you on your shoulder and say, hey, weren't you supposed to be here at this point in time? Didn't you say you wanted to be there? You said you want to do this. Why'd you give that up? You started this program. Why'd you give that up? You went to this school. Why'd you give that up? If you start something, finish it organically. Doesn't have to be in record time. Doesn't have to be to impress anyone. Just has to be something that you want to do. And you do it because you want to do it. Because it isn't negative. It's positive. And if it takes time, damn it, it takes time. But let's not get time confused with being complacent and procrastinating. Every day needs to be a step in that direction, regardless if you're doing it or not. The conscious effort has to be put in place. The baby steps have to be taken every single day. It doesn't mean you can take 2 years off of your goal. It just means instead of taking 200 steps a day, you're taking 2. But you need to take those steps. You need to take those steps. Salvation is about taking steps. To be able to rid yourself of burdens and chaos and drama, steps have to be taken. Or the outcome will be taken from you. If you don't walk towards your outcome is gonna walk away. It's gonna be gone. You won't be able to find it. Every year we get older. Another year gone. Another 6 months gone. And you ask yourself, we all know people who have an excuse after an excuse after an excuse about why they cannot get through a year of completing their goals. And it's because of the very nature of how important are those goals to you? Are they truly obtainable? And how much are you putting on your back when you know when you made that goal, you were unlikely to finish it in the first place? So maybe we should shrink those goals down a little bit. Be a little bit more realistic. What can we accomplish? Well, let's do something different here. I always talk about the valley, the wheat valley, the mountain, and the volcano. And how those things just keep rotating over and over and over again. That you start off in a wheat field, prosperity and peace and comfort, and you can stand there and you can, but you know that your goal, your single goal that you want to reach is over a mountain. You got to go climb this mountain. You get over the mountain, it takes a while, it was harder than what you thought it was going to be, but you did it, and you see another field with wheat and prosperity, and you get to press the pause button and say, okay, wow, I can't believe I accomplished that. I accomplished my goal. And then you look over at the volcano, you say, but my purpose is over that volcano. What do? You got to go. You unpause yourself and you start walking towards the volcano, and you experience every single bit of chaos and challenges and failures and defeat that you can possibly muster going around this volcano, going up and over it. You do it, and then you hit the valley again. Press the pause button. Wow, now I know what my purpose is. What can I do with it? It's time to get some more goals. And you just keep this over and over and over again. And on the sides, you see all around you beautiful hilltops of utopian trees. Just a nice one big hill. On top of that hill is a tree. And that's a reminder to you that that tree isn't going anywhere. You can see a person standing next to that tree. They're not going anywhere. They're content. They're content with the wheat in the tree, just sitting there. You have to earn the wheat. Leave the tree alone. The tree isn't going anywhere. You can love that tree. You can stand there next to it. It's not going anywhere. You have to move. You can't take the tree with you. You can always come back and see the tree, but you have to keep moving. There's always another wheat field. There's always another mountain. There's always another volcano. There's always another tree. Complacency does not lead to salvation. Procrastination does not lead to salvation. Not knowing your morals, your principles, your boundaries, and your values doesn't lead to salvation. Leading your family to a better outcome. Salvation will not happen if the leader who is supposed to be leading them cannot lead themselves. And it is visibly noticeable by the people they are trying to lead. Followers know a leader when they see one. And they will follow without question if that leader knows who they are. And they're showing through action, these are my goals, this is my purpose, and I'm constantly working on growing both. Overcoming both, facing both with bravery and boldness. And being encouraged by it. Again, you cannot have encouragement without courage. Being enlightened by it. You cannot have enlightenment without light. You can't stand in the shadows and the darkness hoping things are going to be shortcutted to you. Salvation is about truth, the honest truth of who you are. What you can do, your outcomes and where you're at right now is a direct result of what you are doing or not doing. We can always return to a place of being comfortable. But what is the point if that comfortable place was something we earned a long time ago and now we're just sitting in it like it's a nest? The nest is crumbling beneath your feet. It is time to spread your wings and fly and rebuild another one. There's only one life, 1 year at a time, and the clock is ticking. It's not a blocky, just brick of time. It's organic time ticking. There's a lot of different ways of getting things done, but action has to be made. You have to start and continue. Field, mountain, volcano. Field, mountain, volcano. Field, mountain, volcano. Pledge with me. I am the strongest person I know. I am alive for a reason. I pledge to stand on my values. I pledge to set and reinforce healthy boundaries. I pledge to keep pushing forward. I am not a victim. I am not without purpose. I pledge to continue to create the life I want. I pledge to grow beyond my current self. I pledge to commit to myself unconditionally, because I am the strongest person I know. I will always be the strongest person I know. I pledge to continue to create, and if need be, recreate the blueprint of my life. I pledge to accept and face any challenge and obstacle that comes my way, because I am the strongest person I know. I pledge I will remain who I am, here and now, and going forward, because I am the strongest person I know. This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There's still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that you can do whatever it takes to accomplish whatever you want from life. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You are true to yourself always. Knowledge is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Balance is in your body. Purpose is in your soul. You are greatness. The sky is not the limit. You have purpose, fulfilling, intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are unique. You are self-love, self-discipline, self-respect, self-control. You have self-awareness. You are joy, peace, and happiness. You are freedom, and yet connected to every person, place, and thing in the universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.